since he trains the kitchen runners, he has to do one class. Some of senior food runner there.
All of the other ones in this. You have all the MHAs. I know Tony sent them, but do you want to double check?
I said that clock to be right. We'll see how long it takes to get
It was yesterday. She was at the
Yeah, I've got them all. All right, let's see what we got. We've got Bailey. Who is, we have Farkas, Haywood, or Adams? Double preference on who you want to do first?
Are you talking to me, Judge?
Yeah.
Well, Haywood's only got one, so if you want to do step first, the rest of them have two.
Let's do her first.
Step.
Okay.
Hello.
How are you? All right. This is Ashley Stepp, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And Catherine, did you want to call her to testify?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you would raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony about to give you the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
And I do have a copy of the mental health assessment. I am going to consider that for the purpose of this hearing. Did you want to, go ahead and call your client to testify.
Thank you. Miss Ashley, I'm sorry that we didn't go last week like we were supposed to. The building got closed accidentally.
Okay.
Well, not accidentally. It wasn't closed accidentally. There was a crisis that made it closed. That was unexpected. That's the word. Okay, Miss Ashley, tell the judge about your mental health diagnoses that you've had.
I've been diagnosed with bipolar, schizophrenia, multiple personality disorder, anxiety, PTSD, and I feel like I've been forgetting one. Depression.
Okay. With the multiple personality disorder, are we talking to Ashley right now?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Where are you going to live if you get released?
I'm going to live with my husband at his grandmother's house in Kaufman.
Okay. And do you understand that the purpose of the mental health bond is so that you get out and get treatment?
Yes, ma'am.
What are your plans for treatment?
I'm going to go to Terrell MHMR to receive my treatment.
Okay. Are you getting all of your medications while you're here in the jail, or are you missing some of your medications?
Missing a lot of my medications, but they did just finally start me on 2 of them the day before yesterday or Wednesday, I believe, or last Thursday, I think, something like that. They started me on them, but they only started 2, and they're not really working for me. But so as soon as I go to MHMR, I feel like I'm going to be able to get back on my original medication, and that'll help me better.
That's wonderful. Okay, the 2 rules, there's 3 rules. If you're let out on a mental health bond, you cannot pick up a new case. Do you understand that?
I understand.
You have to call Tony Fox, and she's going to waive every week. Can you do that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have to report in person to our court, to Judge Baxter, once a month. Can
Yes,
you do that? Okay.
I sure.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor, and ask for this to be sealed.
Any questions from the state?
just a few, Judge. Hi, Ashley. I just have a few questions for you. As far as getting to your treatment and everything, how would you be able to get there?
My husband, he works during the day, but I'll be taking him and dropping him off of work and using his car.
So you have a vehicle that you're able to use?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and is that the same vehicle that you'd use to check in with probation?
Yes.
Or I said, sorry, mental health. Okay. Let's see. So when you are on your medications, I know you said that you haven't been getting them now and that they're not really working, but do they work for you when you're able to take them?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, no further questions, Judge.
Anything else from the defendant?
No, Your Honor.
Is Lakes Regional the same as Terrell and MHMR?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Lakes Regional is the mental health authority of Terrell MHMR.
We'll make sure. Okay. Anything else from the state?
Judge, I'm just going to read her criminal history into the record. On January 22nd of 2019, Ms. Stepp was convicted of, she pled deferred to terroristic threat of a family and household and did 18 months probation for that in Dallas County. She was arrested for robbery, but that was no build in Coffin County. She was arrested for a theft in May 26th of 2017. That was dismissed, but then she picked up a failed to ID of fugitive intent and pled deferred to that in February 11th of 2020, and that was in Dallas County. There's a theft of livestock that she was arrested for in August 24th of 2019, but there's no disposition on that. Failed to ID arrest in August 31st of 2021 out of Dallas County. And then there's another theft, two theft pendings, both in Collin County as of right now from July 5th and July 12th of 2022, which is she is here today for. And that's the rest of her criminal history.
Anything else from the state?
Judge, given that she has continued to pick up offenses, but that they're just theft, so we understand that. And she seems to have a clear check on her mental health and is going to be able to report to probation for mental health. So we just defer to the court on this one.
Okay. Yeah, Ms. Stepp, I'm gonna go ahead and give you bonds and get you out of jail right now. You'll be on a PR bond with us.
Thank you so much.
You got to do everything you say you're going to do. And I just tell you, anytime you run into the police and they ask you who you are, you might want to just tell them because they're going to figure it out.
Yeah, I've learned that.
Yeah, that's getting you in trouble. And if you see something that's not yours, leave it wherever it is because that's getting you in trouble too. Okay. Tony, did you want to share anything with her?
Yeah, so Ashley, I just want to let you know that when you get released, there should be a folder in your property. That folder is going to have my card in there. Give me a call tomorrow so that we know that you made it home okay and that we can get started on what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I'll see you probably next month. Just make sure you do everything you said you're going to do and ask Tony for any help you need. Okay.
Okay.
Good luck. Thanks.
May be excused, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Let's see. Oh, I didn't let Claudia in yet. Let's do whoever Andy Farkas has.
Nunes.
Are you Miss Munez?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's with several priors. And I do have a copy of the mental health assessment. Andy, did you want to call your client testify?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, if you would raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
And I am going to consider the mental health assessment for the purpose of this hearing. You can go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, you are Misty Munez, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you are being held on an aggregated theft case. In other
Yes.
words, a misdemeanor theft where you had at least 2 prior theft convictions. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, in the past, as the well-passed evaluation shows, you've been previously diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, major depressive disorder with mixed features, cannabis dependence, and amphetamine use disorder, moderate to severe. So have you been receiving treatment for any of this?
Yes, sir. Well, I've
Okay.
been,
Please
well, I've
describe.
been- they have me on medication here.
All right, what medications are you on in the jail?
Abilify, Depakote, Boost bars, and then I take water pills. I take blood pressure pills. I think that's it.
Okay. Oh, by the way, how old are you?
33.
Now, previously, where have you been treated?
I was treated back in 2019 at Nexus. That's when I was diagnosed with PTSD and severe depression.
Have you also been treated at Green Oaks?
Yes,
When was that?
that was back in 2014.
All right, the report indicates treatment in 2021. Did you have treatment in 2021?
Yes, sir. I went to Nexus.
Okay. Were these outpatient treatment
No.
programs?
It was
I'm sorry?
inpatient.
It was an inpatient. Now, if you are to be released on a mental health bond, where would you go for treatment at this point?
I would go to North Star to go see what they recommend first.
Have you been to North Star before?
Yes, sir.
And that's in McKinney, correct?
Yes, sir. Off Redbud.
Now, your mother, I understand, would be the one who would pick you up if you are released on mental health bond. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What is her name?
Kelly Ramon.
Now, we have her listed as the transportation, the person who provides transportation in our coordinated release request. And so if you're released, you would expect that she would be contacted so that you would be able to be picked up.
Yes, sir.
Where would you live?
With my mother.
What is that address?
8433 Legacy Drive, Frisco, Texas.
And who resides there other than your mother?
My stepdad and my little sister.
Would you have transportation to get to North Star or any other facility you would need to go to?
My mom would provide transportation. If not, my sister will take me.
Do you feel that it would be helpful for your treatment if you could continue on at minimum an outpatient basis, if not an inpatient recommended?
I would do in or outpatient.
But you feel you need more than just the medication?
Yeah, I need more sobriety date.
And you would need whatever treatment North Star feels is best for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Whatever they recommend.
Now, if you're released on a mental health bond, and if your case is eventually indicted, which it has not been as of this point, would you then come to court as necessary?
Oh, yes, sir.
I have nothing further Your Honor, that's it.
Does the state have any questions?
Yes, Judge. Hi, Ms. Munoz, just a few questions for you. Okay, so you said that you've been to North Star before, and that's where you plan on going if you got out.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel like they were able to help you and get you in a treatment plan that works for you the
Oh,
last time?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, and were you able to take your medications consistently and you felt like that was helping you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You said your mom or your sister would be your source of transportation. Do they have jobs that they have to be reporting to?
My mom does. My sister don't currently work.
Okay, so is your sister, you're pretty much your go-to person for getting you to and from?
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't think you have any trouble getting to your check-in and your treatment and checking in with the court?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I have no further questions for Ms. Munoz, Judge.
I assume when y'all are saying North Star, you're actually talking about Life Path.
Yes, like
Okay, but they changed their name a few years ago, like 10. Anyway. All right. Any other questions from the defense?
No further questions, Your Honor. We're ready.
All right. Anything else from the state?
I'm just going to read her criminal history of the record. Ms. Munoz was arrested in December 9th of 2015 for theft of property. She was also, she received deferred for theft of property May 31st of 2018 in Collin County and was later convicted of that in July 19th of 2018 in Collin County. She was convicted of theft less than $2,500 in Hunt County on November 20th of 2018. And again, pled deferred to another theft, 2 or more, June 16th of 2022, which she's currently here for, and again arrested for another theft May 4th of 2022, which that's the current case she's here for. Judge, we would just ask that given that she's got a treatment plan in place, transportation, we will defer to the court on this case.
Okay. Yeah. Ms. Munoz, I'm gonna go ahead and get you out of jail on a PR bond today. You've got to do everything you said you're gonna do, and that is call Tony every week, come see me once a month. Tony will let you know if they decide they want you to be in an inpatient treatment program, you're gonna go to an inpatient treatment program.
Yes.
You kind of hinted that's where you think you need to be right now anyway. So maybe they can set you up with that. Okay.
Okay, yes, sir.
Also, while you're out, obviously you don't commit any more crimes. If you see something that's not yours, leave it. That's gonna get you in trouble again. Okay.
Okay,
Tony,
yes, sir.
did you want to share anything else?
Yes, Misty, wanted to let you know that when you do get released, you should find a folder in your property. It'll have my card in there. If for some reason you don't get that folder, just contact your attorney. He will have my phone number and the best way to get in contact with me. Additionally, I can't set up coordination for your release due to the fact that you have holds for Alan. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but you probably won't get released until those are taken care of. Okay.
Alan sent me paperwork and I signed the papers to get them dismissed.
Yes, I'll look into that when I get downstairs.
Okay.
Yeah. Once
I
you
didn't set it up since I didn't know what was going on.
they'll time serve you on that, and then you'll be able to get moving. Okay. Do what you said you're going to do. Make sure you call Tony every week and come see me once a month, and good luck. And we'll see you soon. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Andy, do you have any other ones?
Yes, I have one more. I have Tommy Holden.
Okay. We have Holden.
Yes, Judge.
Judge, on Holden, I just wanted, I'm sure you're aware of this, but he's been indicted back in April. And just wanted to put that on your radar since this case has already been filed and indicted.
Okay. Is this police report for this case? Or
Yes,
something
it
else?
is, Judge. State's Exhibit 1.
Okay. I saw there's a report here.
Mhm.
All right, and I do have a copy of the mental health assessment. Did you want to call your client and testify?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you would, raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony about to give be truth, the whole truth, nothing but truth? So if you got it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Or you can go ahead.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Holden, you're here this morning on the issue of whether a mental health bond should be issued for you. You're aware of that.
Yes, sir.
So we're not going to talk about the facts of any charges against you, okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, how old are you?
40.
Now, previously, according to the WellPath evaluation of you, you had been previously diagnosed with a generalized anxiety disorder, major depressive disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, and insomnia. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, you've been treated, but it was, the last time you received treatment, was that a number of years ago in Wisconsin? Do I have that
Yeah.
correct?
Yes, sir. It's 2011.
2011? Okay. In the past, according to the WellPath evaluation, you listed prior drugs as being trazodone, Adderall, Depakote, and Xanax.
Yes, sir.
Okay. At this point, are you under any type of medication while in the jail?
Yeah, they're giving me off and boost fire right now. They just started it a couple weeks ago. They didn't want to start me on a whole bunch of medications at once. So they gave me those two. And then they said they would follow up with me shortly thereafter. And I haven't had that second follow up yet.
Okay. Have, what kind of, what kind of types of symptoms are you having right now?
Well, I've been diagnosed with just the stuff that you said. I get anxious a lot. I can't sleep. I'm still having trouble sleeping. Night terrors, that type of thing.
Have the prescribed medications changed anything?
A little. I'm not so depressed. I don't feel like laying in bed all day. So it's easier to get up and do things a little bit. So I think the Zoloft is helping a little bit. My anxiety is still through the roof though.
Okay. Now, if you are released on a mental health bond, my understanding is, and I think we've submitted, that you have been admitted to, or that you are available to be admitted to, elevated sober living on Ticonderoga and McKinney. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I plan on going there and then trying to get up with Life Path from there for continued mental health.
And I think we've submitted a letter from Elevated to the court showing that you've been admitted to that if you were released on bond. So that will provide kind of a basis for you to be able to then seek the treatment that you need.
Yes, sir.
And would you follow any of the recommended treatments that LifePath would require?
Of course.
Now, I understand that you have been receiving some money on your books from your aunt who was out of state. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Every now and again.
As a result of that, you have the funds, if you are released, to take Lyft to Elevate. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
In addition to that, you're planning on working.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna get a job. I'll get a job while I'm there. I got a lot of welding experience.
A lot of welding experience.
Yes, sir.
And do you believe you'd be able to get a welding job fairly quickly?
Yes, sir. For the type of experience that I have, it's in pretty high demand in Texas. Texas was a big manufacturing state.
What type of welding is your experience?
MIG welding. I do some TIG, but mostly MIG. And there's a lot of that around here.
What is MIG welding?
It's wire fed welding.
And that would enable you then to earn a living, be able to get treatment as you need to, and so forth. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you also have been indicted on 2 charges, one of which is a possession of identification, items of identification more than 50 pieces. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you also have been indicted on unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you do have a prior felony, do you?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
It's out of Wisconsin for possession of modified tools.
You understand that you have a court setting on August 18th in the 296 court. Is that right?
Yes, sir. We talked about it last week.
So if you're released on a bond, in this case, you will report to court on August 18th and any further court appearance. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You also have a misdemeanor charge against you as well, which is unlawful use of a criminal instrument. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All of these 3 charges arise out of the same incident. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you attend any court necessary on that charge as well?
Yes, sir.
We had originally spoken about pharmacy for medications. You were considering moving to Fort Worth, but you're not going to move to Fort Worth. You're staying here in McKinney.
Right. Yeah. CVS is everywhere. I'll probably find a CVS around here
All right, because you,
or a Walgreens.
okay. All right. Thank you. I have nothing further.
Anything else from the state?
Yeah, just a few, Judge. Mr. Holden, my name is Bailey Hill, I'm the prosecutor. Do you think that treatment would actually, do you think treatment would help you in these cases?
Absolutely. I haven't had treatment in some years. I think I need it.
Okay, when was the last time you said 2011?
2011.
Okay, and what was that treatment for?
PTSD, anxiety, depression, insomnia.
Okay, so all the things that you've been diagnosed with recently? Okay. Now, did you have a job at the time of your arrest for these cases?
No, ma'am.
When was the last time you've had a job?
Like right around the time that COVID hit really hard. I was welding. When I first came to Texas, I was welding.
Okay. When did you come to Texas?
2020.
Where were you before that?
Wisconsin.
Okay. What is in Fort Worth that you wanted to move to?
My life is in Fort Worth, but I think it's better if I go to Elevated until I get into my mental health treatment and all that. I think Elevated would be a better move because I could be more focused on the things that I need to be focused on until I integrate back into my regular life.
Okay. Now, who are you going to be living with to go to probation here or mental health, whatever you're checking in? Say again.
It's Elevated Sober Living. It's on Ticonderoga in McKinney.
Okay, so you'll be living. Do you live there?
No, No, I live in Fort Worth, but I'm gonna go there until I'm well into treatment. I think it's a better step than going to Fort Worth from here. I think Elevated is a better. It's a more focused path to where I need to go before I go back to
I have
Fort
no
Worth.
further questions, Judge.
Anything else from defense?
And just follow up just briefly on Elevated, please.
I'm sorry, sir.
Your Honor, I'd like to just follow up briefly on a little bit more about Elevated sober living.
Sure.
All right, at Elevated, you're going to be required for weekly random drug testing, daily alcohol breathalyzer tests, NA or NA group attendance, and attendance at Elevated's 2 house meetings that it has, I believe, weekly. That sound correct?
Yes, sir.
They will also provide progress reports regularly or whenever requested to courts. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I've done it.
Anything else from eight?
Judge, I'd like to read in the criminal history.
Okay.
Okay. So in Texas, Mr. Holden was arrested in June 22nd of 2020 in Madison County for unlawful possession of firearm by felon, driving while intoxicated, possession of marijuana less than 2 ounces, and those are still pending. He was also arrested in February 9th of 2021 in Johnson County for burglary of coin-operated collection machine, possession of controlled substance PG1 greater than 4 grams but less than 200 grams. And those are pending due to the defendant absconding. He was also arrested April 1st of 2021 for evading arrest detention and unlawful use of a criminal instrument. And those are also still pending out of Johnson County due to him absconding. Then in April 1st of 2022, he also was arrested for the charges he's currently in jail for. He's got some out-of-state criminal history. In Georgia, he was arrested May 25th of 2020 for knowingly driving motor vehicle on suspended, canceled, or revoked registration. Then in North Carolina, in June 9th of 1999, he had possession with intent to sell or deliver drugs and maintain a motor vehicle for controlled substance. And that was in Davidson County. And he was found guilty with possession of marijuana on February 14th of 2000. Then on October 20th of 2000, he was arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia and resisting a public officer. Those were dismissed, but he pled guilty to possession of marijuana in December 13th of 2000 and was convicted for that in Rowan County, North Carolina. He was arrested in August 7th of 2008 for possession of Schedule II controlled substance out of Davidson County, North Carolina. And then he was convicted for possession of Schedule IV controlled substances on December 10th of 2008 in Davidson County as well. He was convicted on March 19th of 2009 for breaking and entering and larceny after breaking and entering. He pled guilty in Davidson County on March 19th of 2019. And that would circle us back to the Texas cases. So that's all of his criminal history, Judge.
Okay. Anything else?
Yes, Judge, the state would be opposed to this person getting out on a PR bond. It's our belief that this is not a mental health issue, but truly just a drug and crime issue. We would oppose release due to the nature of the offense. I believe a rifle was found in his car. And due to the nature of the offense and the criminal history, we'd oppose.
I am going to deny bond. I think if if he wants to go to that place, it's probably a better post conviction type of setting he could go to it. So there's just too much criminal history. So I'm gonna deny bond this time. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Do you have any more?
No, I'm done.
All right. See you later.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Guess we have a Hanan. Is it Hanan or Hanan?
It's Hanun.
Hanan, okay. And I do have a copy of the mental health assessment. Did you want to call your client testify? You're muted.
I forget who automatically mutes me and who doesn't. I'm sorry.
I
Yes.
automatically mute you every time.
I know. I should know that by now. Yes, I would like to call my client.
Right. If you would raise your right hand and be sworn, you swear or affirm testimony about to give me the truth, the whole truth, nothing but truth, so be got.
Yes, I do.
All right.
Shandell, you have been diagnosed previously with a mental illness. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, you need to speak up and don't
Yes, ma'am.
nod or shake your head. What has been your diagnosis in the past?
I have depression, anxiety, PTSD, and they diagnosed me with bipolar.
Okay. And are you wanting to get out and get into services in Dallas County where you live?
Yes, I plan on going to Metro Care because I do live in Dallas County. I'll be staying with my mother-in-law, and it's right on the border of Dallas County. So I'll just be going back to Metro Care like I did back in 2011, 12 when I was diagnosed.
Okay. But you do have something in between now and then because you've got some holds for Tarrant County, correct?
Yes, I do. Now I was bonded out on those in February. And so my husband said that they never went off the bond. So he's working on actually getting them to send over the paperwork to get them to show that they never went off the bonds.
Okay. And if that does not happen, is your plan to go to Fort Worth or go to Tarrant County because you already have a deal set up over there, correct?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I'm just re-signing for probation.
Okay. And you don't want to be sitting here for 90 days when you can go get your probation and then get into services, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So while you have holds, you've got a plan to take care of them.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. And sitting here for 90 days is not going to do anybody any good, right?
No, ma'am, it's not. They haven't even indicted me on this charge, and the charge is from 2 years ago.
Right. And it's likely to be a while before you're indicted. Okay. I pass the witness.
Any questions from the state?
Just a few. Are you able to get to MetroCare through your mother-in-law?
Yes, ma'am. My husband also has a vehicle and he doesn't work.
Okay. So you've got transportation. When you take your medication, do you feel like it helps?
Yes, ma'am, when I'm actually on all of my medications, but while I'm here, they don't have me on all of my medications. They just have me on my bipolar meds.
Okay. So do you feel like anything's working for you right now?
The mood stabilizer is working. I take Abilify and Rimron for bipolar, which is Abilify is a enhancer of medication and Rimron is the mood stabilizer, but I'm supposed to be on Zoloft as well. And I'm not. And then they had me on gabapentin and hydroxyzine for my anxiety, which is still really high.
Okay. Have you gone to MetroCare before?
Yes, in about 2011, 2012, when I got diagnosed with bipolar or not bipolar, but depression and anxiety.
Did that treatment help you while you were there and after?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, as long as I take my meds as I'm supposed to, it helps.
Do you often stop taking your meds after you stop stop treatment?
The only times that I've really stopped is when I didn't have the money to fulfill prescriptions or when I didn't have the insurance to cover it.
No questions, Judge.
Anything else from the defense?
No, I rest, Your Honor, and close.
Anything else from the state?
Just going to read her criminal history into the record and then close. In June 28th of 2016, Ms. Hanoun was convicted of theft of property less than $750, and she received deferred for that. And then her community supervision expired July 3rd of 2017. She was also did 2 years of probation deferred for possession of controlled substance PG1, less than 1 gram, greater than 4 or less than 4 grams, out of Dallas County on March 3rd of 2020. And she was arrested April 29th of 2019 for theft of property with previous conviction. And that was out of Tarrant County. She pled deferred to forgery of a financial instrument in September 27th of 2019 out of Tarrant County as well. And she was arrested on May 15th of 2019 for possession of controlled substance PG1 less than 1 gram out of Tarrant County as well. And she also pled to deferred for fraudulent use possession of identifying information items on September 27th of 2019. In Collin County, she was convicted of theft of less than $750 in September 10th of 2019, and then was arrested in June 23rd of 2019 in Collin County for unlawful use of a vehicle. And then again in Tarrant County for unlawful use of a vehicle on the same day of June 23rd of 2019. She was convicted of theft of less than $750 out of Tarrant County, December 13th of 2019, and was arrested for another theft with 2 or more previous out of Dallas County on October 3rd of 2021. She was also arrested for theft out of Collin County with 2 or more previous on June 30th of 2022. And with that, Judge, the state would close saying that she's had a continued pattern of theft and unlawful use of vehicles and some drug use as well. And so there's a concern that she would continue to pick up criminal offenses while she was out on bond, Judge. So we'd oppose this given her criminal history, and state closes with that.
Ms. Ron, I'm going to give you a bond, give you one shot at, getting things fixed.
Thank you.
You'll need to go take care of the stuff in Tarrant County first, and then
Yes, sir.
get on track with us.
Yes.
But it's a one shot, and any mistakes and you're back in jail and we're done.
Right.
With it. We will drug test you when you're here because you have a drug problem. And we also expect you to call Tony every week and then come see me once a month. Okay.
Yes.
As soon as you're out of Tarrant County, we expect you to get on all this. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Tony, do you want to share anything?
Yes, Judge. Shandell, typically I put a folder in everyone's property when they get released. Since you're going to another county, they tend to like to lose that.
Right.
So when you get out, the best thing that you can do is contact your attorney. She
Okay.
has contact information. She will give it to you and you will contact me. Now, worst thing you can do is for me to be notified. I have a program that notifies me when people are released from jail.
Yes, ma'am.
Notified that you're released, and then I don't hear from you. And the judge asks me where you're at. And the only thing I can tell them is I have no clue.
Right.
So make sure that you get with me as soon as you're released. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I've been trying to take all of this for the past 2 years. That's why I turned myself in Dallas County.
Good deal.
All right, I'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Bye, Shandell.
Bye.
We have one more, right?
Yes,
I have one more.
All right.
There's Mr. Hamilton.
There's the, you have to look at it. All right, I do have a copy of the mental health assessment. I'm gonna consider it for the purpose of this hearing. And did you want to call your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you would raise your right hand and be sworn, you swear or affirm testimony about to give me the truth, the whole truth, nothing but truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Go ahead.
Hey, Jeffrey, you are a person that has been diagnosed with mental illness. Is that correct? Okay, you need to speak up. This needs to be verbal, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what is your diagnosis?
Bipolar, PTSD, and anxiety.
Okay. And do you normally take medication for these?
I do. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And your plan is to get out of jail if he allows you to, and to get into services with MetroCare, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I am a client of MetroCare already.
Okay. And you are currently homeless, but it appears that you know how to find services and stay safe in Dallas. Is that correct?
Yes, my sister said she would pay for the entry fee to the 24-hour club, which is a sober living environment for me.
Okay, perfect. And speaking of sober living, you have an AA sponsor.
I do.
Okay. And so you want to get out so you can work the program, get back into services, get your feet back underneath you so you can stay sober and stay out of trouble, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Okay. And you know that you're going to have to come up here once a month and visit with the judge. You're going to have to call Miss Tony, who's on this Zoom, every week. Whether you have a phone or not, you'll have to find a phone and call her, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And you know that you need to definitely be in services and taking your meds and staying sober, correct?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I pass the witness.
Any questions from the state?
Just a few, Judge. Okay, Mr. Hamilton, when you take your medication, do you feel like it helps you?
Absolutely. Yes. I've been very stable for years on medication. Sometimes it needs some adjustment, but that's when I go into the hospital and get it adjusted. And then I seem to be very good for quite some time.
Are you able to get your medication in the jail, or are you missing some of them?
Yeah, I have not been able to get a mental health appointment with the doctor. They have one scheduled for me. It just has not come up yet.
Okay.
So it's been pretty rough.
Okay. And so can you just tell me one more time where you're going or what your plan is when you get out of jail, if you are able to?
Yes. As soon as, if the judge allows, the first moment is to contact my sister. She'll pay the assessment fee for me to go into the 24-hour club, and then listen to the advice of my attorney, something with a life path program to where they can direct me on what my best direction probably would be besides just living in the sober living environment.
Okay. So what is going to be your mode of transportation to check in with the court and make contact with them to make sure that they know what you're doing and keeping up with everything?
My sponsor has mentioned that he would be able to take me to a couple of the appointments, but I haven't had a driver's license in quite a few years that I very well have taken public transportation, the trains and the buses and things like that.
All right. And I think that's all, Judge.
Anything else from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else from the state?
I'm just going to read his criminal history into the record.
Okay.
I believe in Alabama, there was an arrest in February 16th of 2009, obstructing justice and dangerous drugs, criminal conspiracy to commit controlled substance, and there's no disposition on that. And then again, a few days later was another obstructing justice and disorderly conduct. And then in Michigan, he had an operating while intoxicated and impaired third offense. And there was 3 days in his arrest for that. Or he was sentenced February 5th of 2001. And then there was a stolen property arrest, January 22nd of 2005. And he was convicted in February 7th of 2005 for that stolen property, received 12 months probation, and then was arrested for violation of public peace and convicted on April 18th of 2006. And that is all his criminal history.
Anything else?
Judge, we would just defer to you on this one, given his criminal history and the nature of the offense of a burglary of a building.
Okay, Mr. Hamilton, I'm gonna go ahead and get you out on a bond today. It's gonna be hard on you without a real stable place to live, but make sure you have to call Tony every week, check in with her, let her know how you're doing, and you'll come see me once a month, okay?
Yes, sir.
They'll give you as much help as they can, but you're kind of on your own to do all this, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Expect to be drug tested when you come to see me, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Tony, do you want to
Okay.
share?
Yes.
Yes, Jeffrey, just wanted to touch base real quick and let you know, my counterpart over at the jail is going to give you a ride to the Parker Road DART station,
Mhm.
give you a boost for getting to the 24-hour club, et cetera. So expect that. Also, when you get released, you should have a folder in your property. It's going to have my business card in it. It's going to have my contact information. Contact me tomorrow so that I know that you landed okay and everything's good to go. All right.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Judge.
Good luck.
Thank you, Ms. Adams.
Bailey, I have a question.
Thank you, Judge.
Are you now the one doing these?
No,
No, I'm filling in for Tony. He's in trial today.
Oh, okay, because I have